Good day, everyone. Hope you're doing well. I just want to come on here and we're going to talk about duckweed. Duckweed is it has its place. Some animals eat it. Some animals don't. My suggestion for duckweed is if you're trying to have a fish tank with plants in it like this one and whatnot, get rid of the duckweed, man. Because if you see, I don't know how it got into this one. I was trying not to have the duckweed get in here, but it got in here, and now it takes over. And see what happens with the duckweed is it completely grows over top because it just multiplies on its own. You only need one piece of duckweed for it to take over a tank like this. And then what happens is it takes over like this and it covers all your surface area and it basically drowns the tank out. You can't grow any other plants. The tank doesn't get the light to the bottom anymore and it gets all plugged up. If you do want to do a floating plant, I'd suggest something like a frog bit, right? And that's what I'm trying to separate and get rid of this. See this one little piece of duckweed? I'm trying to get rid of it all, and I'm fortunate enough on these tanks. I'm on an overflow, so this is the second time around that I'm trying to wash all the duckweed off of everything that's in here, and then we're just getting it all trapped down into here, and then I'm going to clean it all up out of here, and whatever's missed hopefully will die off with no light, and I won't get it over into the return pump, where the return pump's over here and then it goes back to the tanks. But I'm sure working hard to get rid of this duckweed. And if you have duckweed, or don't have duckweed I should say, my suggestion is don't get it. Don't get duckweed. It is a pain in the butt. It doesn't quite give you a benefit of any sort, and it will drown out your tank, and it'll black out your tank. It uses up all the nutrients and stuff. If you want to have a duckweed tank, I would suggest to have that completely separate and make sure you use different utensils and stuff, but don't get that duckweed in another tank, because it only takes one piece of duckweed and it'll take over the whole tank. So this is my second round. I'm going to try to wash it out. Hopefully I need to get all the duckweed out of here because it's already so hard to get the light to the bottom of this tank, because this tank is I think almost like 32 inches deep or something like that. So it's really hard to get the light down there. I do have one bar workshop light, a couple more grow lights, and a 1,000-watt floodlight on here, and I'm still going to need more lights, I think. So just to be able to get down to the bottom and stuff for the crypts and stuff. I have a bunch of cool little crypts and stuff that I'd like to get growing. This grass here, I'm actually surprised this val grass hasn't started growing very good, and that's obviously a sign that it's not getting enough light or nutrients or something. But there is dirt in the bottom. This is a dirted tank with sand, and I'm just trying to get it to grow like a jungle. And so far I got a few plants that are going on it, but it's not going to help when I keep getting drowned out on the surface with the duckweed. So my suggestion is if you don't have duckweed, don't get it. If you do have it, try and keep it contained. But here's another example here. The duckweed gets in the tank and it just smothers everything. And then all the algae and hair algae and everything else grows on top of that. So you got to try to pull that out, and that's what I'm doing today since I'm in here burning the fire, trying to keep it warm. It's like minus 30 or something crazy, I don't know. But it's a little chilly in the room today, and it's a little hard on the fish. They are tropical fish. They do like it warmer than, around 20, 21, 22 is about as cold as you want them to go. And I think some of these tanks, they get below 20 sometimes, just because I only got 300-watt Eheim heaters that help me sort of heat the tanks in here, and the Rocket Mass heater. So I got to keep the ambient temperature in the room as high as I can keep it with as long as I can burn wood. And some days it's easier than others. Some days it can be pretty hard. Starting this room out, I've been in here 7 days a week, 365 days a year, since we started this room, I can't take a day off, especially in the winter. If I take the day off in the winter, I might come out to a bunch of fish stuck in ice cubes and all the fish tanks and stuff. And I've put a lot of well, I shouldn't just say we've all, me, Stacy, and her sister, my brother, we've all put a lot of effort in moving these around and trying to set them up and stuff. Yeah, hopefully I'll get it all to where I'd like it to be. And of course, that would be fully scaped tanks and planted and all that. More an ecosystem throughout the whole area than just a plain fish tank with a couple ornaments in it. I'd like to have the full ecosystem happening in everything, but you know, stuff like that takes time and money and stuff. So I just keep working away at it, and then, you know, eventually we'll get there. So, but yeah, the main thing for this video was duckweed. If you got it, get rid of it. It takes over the tank, it drowns it out. You can't get any light into the tank. You know, some fish eat it, goldfish, tilapia, you know, your African cichlids, they'll eat it too. They'll chew on it, no problem. They love it. But if you're trying to do any sort of other plants or anything like that in your tank, it just ruins it. It gets it all stuck in there. And it's hard enough dealing with other stuff like algae, hair algae, and all that kind of stuff than having to deal with the duckweed. So I'm working at it. It is sort of neat when you have it at the top though. Like, these are all the little roots, right? In smaller nano tanks, it can look like, it can be pretty neat, right? But it drowns everything else out. You'd be better off getting something like this that's a rough frog bit, and then it gets the long, cool little roots hanging down. And there's some more frog bit there, and that's what I'm trying to wash. I'm washing it all off, using the overflow to get the duckweed down. But yeah, it gets it all, like my anubias here and stuff, gets all drowned out, and then the algae takes over real quick. That anubias in the back's growing pretty good. But, all right, say no to duckweed. Hope you guys have a good afternoon, weekend, and start of your next week. Right on. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and give a thumbs up. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye now.